comments. If I see it and I want to pop it, answer in real quick, I will. But most likely, I'm going to skip over it until the end. Class tomorrow is going to be, or Q&A for tomorrow will be the like an evening session, so probably like 6 to 7, something like that, 6 to 8, depending on how long we're together. Okay, so this is your virtual assistant business development workshop. Today is not just about learning what a virtual assistant does, it's really about launching your business. If you're here because you're ready to take action, then you're in the right place. Maybe you are here to build a sustainable business, or maybe you need to build a profitable skill so that you can fund a bigger goal. Whatever the reason is, we're going to figure that out today, and you're going to have actionable steps. So, this is what we're not going to do today. We are not going to overcomplicate things. We are not going to get stuck in an endless planning cycle, and we are not going to leave here without a clear path forward. So instead, we are going to cut through the noise and we're going to get moving. I spend a lot of time in growing my business and trying to grow my business. I talked a little bit about this before, but I started my virtual assistant business in 2015. I was on a summer home from college and I had gotten fired from a couple of jobs. We'll talk about that later. But I ended up stumbling across virtual assisting. And with virtual assisting, because of the way that I stumbled across it, I literally just kind of like jumped in and I was like, yeah, I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. I can do that. And I was all over the place. I'm going to teach you a method because it does work and I did make money. But I'm going to teach you a method today that is going to help you jump in with a clear understanding of what it is that you need to do. So this is an interactive workshop. So participating is how you're going to get the most out of it. If you have your worksheet up, I recommend at least maybe having it up to kind of look at it. Maybe you have a piece of paper where you're writing down the answers. Maybe you printed it out and you are writing it into the worksheet. Maybe it's up on your computer and you're actually typing in some stuff, but I would have it up to type notes, to B, actually start jotting down some of your thoughts, because I am going to go through that worksheet in detail and with the sections that we're going to talk about. So you might want to actually be having that up. The more engaged you are here is honestly going to be the more that you get out of this session. So let's get into it. By the end of today, you're going to have a clear offer, a pricing structure, and a real action plan to start getting clients. If you're ready, drop ready in the comments. Drop ready. So if you need to get your worksheet up, if you need to go get you some paper, go ahead and drop ready in the comments, and I'm gonna give you like 1 minute and then we're gonna start. I wanted to attempt to go live on Substack as well because I didn't. They just released a new feature. So I'll just go ahead and go live up here if I can. We're not going to spend too much time on it. Okay. Ready? Everybody's ready. Sasha's ready. Crystal's ready. Goddess Lounge is ready. Erica's ready. TRH is ready. Brandy's ready. Walk With Me is ready. Everybody's ready. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to go through 5 steps today. This workshop is not just about learning, it's about doing. I'm very specific in teaching that way because I really spent too much time learning. I spent too much time. There was a period of my career where I was just actively out there like, hey, I can do this. Hey, I can do that. But then there was a also very unfortunate period of my career where I was just like, oh, I need to learn more. I need to know more. I need more details. I need more, just more, more, more. And what I really want to do is just push you out there, get you to start, and I literally have attempted this method a lot with friends who are like, "Oh, Brianna, I want to start my VA business. I want to welcome. I want to start my VA business. I want to do XYZ. I want to grow this. I want to start this business. I want to start that business." And I would always just want them to start. Like, I would always try to explain the process of, like, if you can just get a couple of things together, if you can just get concepts of a plan, then y'all call that. If you can just get that and then just run with it, then all of the pieces will come out there and they will fall into place. So that's my goal, is to push you just to start. So if you follow these steps, you're going to leave this training with a fully developed VA service that you can start selling. So the first one is to define your VA role. Hate that. Unfortunately, I'm just going to end that. Okay. The first one is to define your VA role. Before we do anything, we need to get crystal clear on why you're starting this business. What is it that you actually want to do? Are you here to build a long term business, or do you need a profitable skill to fund another dream? That's going to be your why, and it's going to guide your every decision. That's why I had you do that first niche worksheet, because that was very important to just really kind of reconnect with yourself and think about what your skill sets are. The second thing is to develop your signature offer. One of the biggest mistakes that new VAs make is trying to do everything for everyone. I told y'all, I was that person. I tried to do it all. I literally would be in Facebook groups scouring the net every day. And I would go and I would literally, if somebody was like, "Hey, I need somebody to do this spreadsheet. Hey, I need somebody to design this flyer. Hey, I need somebody to do something on this random platform that I never even heard of." Y'all, I would go Google it real quick just to get a couple of little knowledges on that. And I would just do it. Like, I would literally be like, "I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it." And yes, it kept money coming in, but I burnt out because I'm over here trying to do all the things. So that's why I want to make sure that we have a signature offer and we're just selling that. Um, you don't want to burn out, and really it keeps money coming in, but the money is inconsistent. And that's the worst way to operate as a business owner, as a freelancer, as anybody. So we're going to focus on one high value service. The third thing is to set up pricing and packaging structure. We are not charging hourly. I'm going to teach you a method that gives you a hourly price that we're going to put into a package. We're not going to offer it as an hourly. We're not going to be offering services and saying, "Hey, yeah, I'll do that for you for 2 hours if you just give me XYZ." Now, if anybody's done any digging in my stuff, I do have a service where I currently offer hourly work, but it's only for people that I've already built out your systems. I've already built your branding. I've already built out your digital marketing, and you just need maintenance. What I want you all to do is get a package together and start selling that package and get really good at selling that package and executing that package. Number four is going to be finding and nurturing your first clients. Clients do not just appear, they never will. You need a structured plan to attract and nurture them. We're not going to beg for clients. We're going to put our stuff out there and we are going to attract them. We are going to set up multiple ways for you to bring in clients so you're not relying on luck. And then the fifth thing is confidently pitch. So the difference between struggling freelancers and booked out professionals is confidence and positioning. You need to be able to pitch your service in a way that makes potential clients excited to work with you. So we'll talk about that a little bit today, but a lot more in our implementation weeks. So by the end of today's session, you'll have a launch plan for your first VA service. So that's what we're doing today. We're literally going to go through all 5 of those steps. So the first of those steps is defining your VA role and your business goals. If you're still with me in the chat, just type here. Type here for me. Awesome. Love that. Okay. So here is a reality check. Either you're here for one or two reasons. You actually want to build a full time sustainable business that replaces or surpasses your income, or you need a way to fund your lifestyle, another dream, or a transition. It's one of those two things, and it's very important that you're clear about what bucket you're in. There's not a right or wrong answer, but if you don't define your reason, then you'll find yourself all over the place and your business needs to serve you. Your business needs to serve you right from the start. I don't want you to come into this with the attitude that I'm new, so I kind of got to do whatever I need to do to get clients. I want you to come into this with the attitude that your business serves you. Let's not even create a service. Let's not even launch a business. Let's not even get a new skills um, up or a new stream of income if it's not something that serves you. And I think I've said that a lot in my orientations and in my previous homework assignments, but that's going to be the most important part because you will burn out. So the first thing is, do you want to replace your 9 to 5 within 6 months? This is just kind of like helping you develop your goals. Do you want to replace your 9 to 5 within 6 months so you can work on your own terms, have control over your schedule, and never have to ask for time off again? Does that look like you want to use your VA business to fund your business and become a full-time content creator, or launch your passion business, or launch some brick and mortar business, or whatever that goal is, and then you don't want to have to rely on whatever you currently have going on to pay your bills? Or are you kind of like, hey, I just need a consistent 3K a month so I can pay my rent, my bills, and still have time to homeschool my kids? I know we have some homeschooling parents in here. I was a homeschooling parent for a while. So that's something that we're concerned about. But what you want to do is just really think into your goal. I did see a lot of people kind of have like generic, like when we were goal planning in that first assignment, it's kind of generic. I really want you to take those three examples and develop something that feels planned out, like something that's a lot more in depth and in tune with your actual goals and what you actually want and need. Money is a tool, but your business needs to serve your lifestyle and goals, not the other way around. So most people think that VAs just do admin work, emails, calendars, data entry. And I think that's a little bit of an outdated way of thinking about being a virtual assistant. Virtual assistants are truly business growth partners who specialize in any industry. And that's why I told you guys, look at your skills. Look at what you already do. Look at what you're already passionate about, because these things are going to help you actually break into the right industry so that you're doing work that you actually want to be doing. So some traditional VA roles would be like admin support. So that is your email, your scheduling, your data entry. But also that can be customer service and client relations. When my agency was running full time, I had a role that was like a client care person. And that client care person, was their sole responsibility was to clock in every day, check the emails, make sure everyone had what they needed. But from a client perspective, this was really kind of like my client partner. So that's something to think about. If you're one of those people, if you enjoy service, if you are very organized, if you are tech savvy, if you like customer service, then there's roles that you can enter in people's businesses that are just focusing on making sure that the wheel keeps spinning every day. Another thing that's a traditional VA role is like social media management. So just because it's virtual assistant, it's really any task that you are assisting with virtually, if that makes sense. So it does not just necessarily have to be in that admin lane. And then some out of the box roles for VAs is kind of like just kind of like diving deeper. Like if you want to be a VA for a photographer, they have plenty of back end work. They have plenty of things that need to be done. So that's a way that you can go. Also, a VA for like a bakery, you can handle their online orders, manage their social media, send invoices. I'm just trying to expand your mind to think of being a VA as more than just the admin person for said random business. This really can go deeper and deeper into your skills, your passions, wherever you actually want to go. I've worked with people in all different industries as a virtual assistant, um, brick and mortar, uh, digital, all the digital businesses, all the coaches, all the course creators, all of those type of people. And then another one is a VA for a small business. Back in the day, and when I say back in the day, y'all, I mean like 2016, 2017. I met someone who was a virtual assistant for a local co-working space. And the agreement that she had with them was that, she kind of handled all of their invoices. She kind of did their like any inventory management because they had like waters and snacks and all that good stuff that they had to keep in stock for the co-working space. So, but she also got to actually have like access to that co-working space due to her being that type of business owner. So I just want to, or due to her working with that type of business owner, I just want to open your mind and continue to open your mind to being a virtual assistant is not just one way. It really is meant to be your way. So on your worksheet, there is a couple of things that I want to highlight. One, I want you to start to list 3 industries or businesses that you'd love to work with. And I would say, even more than the industries, I would say businesses. Like, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, and actually find business owners who you would like to work with, who are maybe in a field that you are interested in, and just write them down. From there, I want you to choose one of those companies, and I want you to kind of do a scope of their online presence, of how they are operating in their systems, of how things look. And I want you to write down what it is that they're needing. And a lot of times these people they're telling you what they need. They've already asked for this and that. They're selling digital products, they're selling coaching services, so they need a person to manage their back end. So just kind of look into that, and depending on your industry, you may even have more insights on what those type of business owners need. Okay, so going from there, let me make sure I didn't skip nothing. Oh, I did skip something. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Okay, so going from that, I'm glad it was helpful. Um, Going from that, we're gonna start talking a little bit more about developing your signature offer. So I want to talk about why most new VAs struggle to make money. I did see in, I think it was the VA study group in our Discord community where someone said that they started the virtual assistant business before, but it didn't really work out, so they ended up shutting it down. And the biggest mistake I see over and over again is trying to offer too many services at once. So I've told y'all I did that. I was offering everything. It was to the point where like I would develop a new package for each client. Like based on whatever they needed, I would develop a new package. And it's like that type of operation keeps you on the hamster wheel. So it's like you feel like you need to do and be everything, a social media admin, customer service, bookkeeping, email management. But that approach is going to keep you broke and is going to keep you overworked. It might feel like you're making funds, but ultimately, when you look back and you weigh those funds against the time, it's not making enough. I had a experience with a client where they would get these blocks of time, but frame it as a project. So that kept me. I actually ended up doing the math of how much time I was spending on these projects. They were supposed to be 10 hours, but because it was framed as a project, it just ended up exceeding and exceeding and exceeding. And I ended up doing some math, and y'all, I was making like $7.25 minimum wage on these projects because I was just like, oh yeah, I can do this. Oh yeah, I can do that. And then in the meantime, in between time, I'm trying to learn stuff. I'm trying to add this and that. I don't have a backbone. I can't say no, I can't do this. No, I can't do that. No, that wasn't in the package because I'm not actually developing a good package and I'm not actually sticking to it because there is no package. There is nothing developed. It's just, yeah, I can do that. So instead of offering everything under the sun, we're about to dive into developing that one high value service, something that solves a real problem and delivers a clear and tangible outcome. People do not pay for your time, they pay for the results. And you want to keep that in mind. So, the mindset shift here is stop trading your time for money and sell solutions. And that's one of the biggest takeaways that you can get as a business owner. Your hours are not available. You want to sell a solution. And while the pricing development portion of this training, I am going to teach you how to come up with that package price through an hourly rate. While that's like that, the main part, and this is what we're about to develop, is the solution. And that's what's going to help you develop your social media content. That's what's going to help you keep talking about the same thing day in and day out, is because you're going to have the understanding that this is the solution for your business. And here is how we lay that solution out. So I want you to start thinking about what problem can you solve in 5 hours? Um, what high value outcome does your client get? And so I want, if you don't know, that's fine. If you know, put in the comments what industry you're thinking about working with and like what service you're thinking about offering. I'll give some people a couple of minutes to pop that in the comments. Event organizing and coordination. I love that. That's a great virtual service. Walk with Me said, I have no idea what industry, but I have project management skills. That's good. I'm thinking about wellness, the wellness industry, and offering newsletters and blog posts. Okay. Okay. Not sure what industry yet, but excellent at customer care and support. Okay. Same as Goddess. Okay. E-commerce is one. Assist with orders and management. Okay, those are all great. So we're gonna keep those in mind as we're kind of going through and developing these packages, so we can start thinking about what those ideas looks like in a package. Photography, nonprofit, small business, bookkeeping. Okay, okay, maybe entertainment industry. What do you mean by entertainment industry? I've always worked in mental health. Okay, and so with you always working in mental health, does that look like you supporting a mental health professional, or does that look like you maybe supporting a wellness professional? Does that look like you maybe going into a mental health professional's business and kind of helping them set up their back end? Insurance, client relations, email, organic farmers, social media management, and newsletter. Okay, love that. Really want to get into social media management. Social media management is very lucrative, and that's a it's a great virtual assistant service. It's a great niche. Okay, so can I click space? Oh, we need to go over here. Okay, space. Boom. Okay, so the shift from selling tasks to selling solutions, the wrong approach would be I offer admin support, calendar management, and social media scheduling. That's kind of generic. The right approach would be I help busy business owners, and I'm saying business owners, but you can even go more specific and put a specific industry or type of business owner in front of that, regain 10 plus hours a week by automating their inbox, streamlining their calendar, and handling daily client follow ups. So there was someone in here who said they're really good with customer care and things like that. So that right there is a great example for you. So if you see the difference, the wrong approach sells the task and it feels vague, and it also feels replaceable. The right approach sells an outcome, it's clear, it's valuable, and it speaks to a pain point. So the 5 hour service model that I'm going to walk you through today is high impact, fast turnaround packages. And I'm going to tell you why this works. Instead of diving into big, overwhelming, messy projects, starting with a structured, high value offer that helps you understand your client's business while providing your expertise. The reason why I literally have been in pretty much like mastermind workshop with myself over the last week or so, trying to figure out how I want to teach you all these skills, because these are truly skills that I have done before. These are services that I've offered before. These are things that I have succeeded at, failed at, burnt out from, all those things. And so I really just I wanted to take my notes from all of the things that I've done and give you something that is tangible for you to offer. The reason why I chose the 5 hour service model method is because I've jumped into so many large projects, like 10 hour, 20 hour, 40 hour projects, and come to find out I didn't take enough time in the beginning. I didn't take, and truly, you need about 5 hours in the beginning of working with someone to get in there and see what their business is like, to get in there and see what services and systems and things they need set up, to get in there and see exactly what their pain points are as a specific business. And so that is what this 5 hour service is going to look like. We'll talk a little bit more about how that looks for different people and how you kind of make that work for you. But just some example services, um inbox detox. So let's say I saw people say photography, event organizing and coordination, all those different things. Let's say you're going into a business owner's business and they're telling you like, and let's not even just say they're telling you, because we want to have this service developed before they come to you. We know that for photographers, their inboxes, especially if they're really popular and or it's a busy season, their inbox is probably a mess. So just offering a 5 hour service where you can go in, clean up, categorize, create automated responses, so that they have a flow that will literally sometimes change their life, because the way people's inboxes look as a business owner can be a mess. And not only that, but it can cause such a roadblock when it comes to actually getting a client process together and actually communicating with everybody and keeping the lines of communication open. So thinking about what service can I come into your business, and whether or not you just buy this 5 hour package or you continue with me after it, is actually going to create results for your business. And if we choose to move forward, it's actually going to be the foundation for me as a business owner, as the virtual assistant, is going to be a foundation for me to continue my job without a bunch of roadblocks, without having to go through and do a whole lot of organizing and this and that. The other one that I liked is a brand audit and refresh. So this is kind of like thinking in the mind of a graphic design VA. So whether that's just reviewing the branding, updating the visuals, or going through the social media and kind of creating a polished presence. When on this audit topic, I want to say that you can take audit and apply it to any industry. So whatever industry you you are thinking about doing, actually using this 5 hour service to go in and develop an audit process where you're going in, you're overviewing systems, where you're going in, you're creating a plan of action. That is a perfect 5 hour initial service packaging, because so many business owners just don't know where to start, what to do, how to make it happen, or what to even delegate to you. And it's important that this 5 hour service shows that you have ownership, and it shows that you are able to come in and own the space. You're able to come in and immediately create results and organize the space. And then another one that would be good would be a content planning and scheduling type of thing. And that's just for social media. I saw some people talking about social media. So that would be a good one as well. Okay. Okay, so the first service is truly just the beginning. I kind of already mentioned this, but once you go in and you offer this particular service, then that's just a starting point. One, it gives you the opportunity to set yourself up for success in case you are going to continue on with this person and do a 10 hour, 20 hour, or whatever. um it's really truly a launch pad. So if you're structuring it as an audit, you can upsell them to implementation and ongoing support. If you're structuring it as a quick fix or a system setup, the clients will likely need maintenance and expansion later on. And if you keep it simple and streamlined, this service will be your main breadwinner. So let's say you have this 5 hour service And it's 5 hours in the training. We're structuring it as a 5 hour service while this training is going on. However, it is going to be presented to the client as a package. Are we still here? Okay, I thought I froze. But it'll be presented to the client as a package. I'm saying 5 hours now because we want to keep in mind that that's about all we want to spend, all the time that we want to spend on this service. We don't want it to be a huge, long, drawn out service where it takes forever, where we're getting paid, hour by hour. We want it to be a package. So I don't want y'all to think, I don't want to confuse y'all by calling it a 5 hour service. We're saying that here in the training because I want to get you in the mindset of what service can I offer in 5 hours. Um, but this will be your breadwinner, it'll be your foundation, and it'll be what you get most used to selling. And that's my thing because when it comes to making money as a virtual assistant, you can do it. There's plenty of businesses online who need support. There's plenty of brick and mortar businesses who need virtual support. But the thing is that you have to anchor yourself in developing something that you're going to want to keep talking about, that you're going to want to wake up every week and say, how can I sell this service? Who can I get in touch with who needs this service? How can I connect with more and more people who this service was built for? I'm gonna take a second to look at the comments real quick. So Felicia said, "What if the business isn't a physical product for me, but for the consumer, like Pinterest, Amazon affiliate programs? I'm in the beauty industry, so I think that's what I want to focus on." What if the business isn't a physical product for me, but for the consumer? Explain that further. So are you saying like you want to help people set up like their Pinterest and Amazon and affiliate programs? So kind of like a brand assistant or something like that? Let me know, like a brand management type of person. Of course, of course. The only Ja Adore, is it Ja Adore? Always let me know if I say y'all name wrong. Because I will make sure to correct myself because I don't like it when people say my name wrong. But of course, I definitely wanted to have this training to where it makes sense from a beginner standpoint because I feel like when I started being a virtual assistant, I literally um pieced everything together. Like I went to YouTube, I went to Pinterest, I went to Google and Jazz. Iator. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, Jazz. But yeah, I pieced everything together and anything that was actually like showing something was paid. And I told you I started as a college student. I didn't have money to pay for nothing. And I feel like a lot of this information is it's just too generic. I think she's looking at how to support affiliate marketing, like maybe Amazon affiliates. Okay. Felicia, is that what you're talking about? Like you want to support the people who, are on Pinterest, who want to do affiliate marketing, who are on like Amazon affiliates. If that's what you're saying, that's definitely something that you can do. I actually have worked with a couple of large YouTube channels. Like there are some content creators that just review products that and they've built an entire company off of it. Yeah. So I've worked with a couple of large YouTube channels. One of them was actually a reaction channel and I think over all of her social media, she had maybe like 200,000 people. But my sole job going into her business was to go through her emails. Her emails were crazy. There was so much money in her emails, like people offering this, people offering that, so many products, and really building out a system for one, making sure that these emails get answered, two, making sure that um her videos are getting done and she got on some type of a schedule to actually do these different brand deals and different affiliate opportunities to actually do these different unboxings. So that's definitely something that you can do. And I would call that like a brand manager. I wouldn't even put assistant on it. I would just call it a brand manager. If that's something that you're looking to get into, jump into it as a brand manager. And yeah, like fully all of the services that we've talked about, the whether it's answering the emails, whether it's scheduling for social media, whether it's actually auditing their system, because a lot of content creators do not have a system for how they're going to actually create this content. It's kind of like a willy nilly kind of free for all thingy situation where they're just kind of winging it. And that's because, like, a lot of times content creators end up having a business. And because people don't view it as a business, I can't wait till we get to the making monetizing your audience with under 1,000 followers, because if you really set your business up as a content creator from the beginning as a business, then you're just set up for success, because there's a level of organization that's needed, and there that is a role, like there is a person that's needed to actually take on that role of, even if it's just like adding, let's say this person, I had one client, she was always shopping on Amazon. I had access to her Amazon, and she would just be in there shopping, doing her thing, buying this, buying that, buying clothes, buying uh house stuff, buying whatever. And so I would literally go into her Amazon and add whatever she bought in the last week to her Amazon storefront, and then put on her schedule, hey, do an unboxing video about this thing, do a sit down video about this thing, let the audience know your results on that thing. So that's absolutely something you can do. No problem. Okay, Jazz said a hairstylist hired me to clean her emails and keep up with them, but it was so overwhelming for her that she quit me before I got started. Yeah, and I feel like that's why a 5 hour service, just like a package, because sometimes when you just say like when someone comes and they're like, I need this, like a lot of times business owners know they need a person to do something. They need somebody to do something so that they can get some stuff off of their plate, but they don't know what it is. They don't know how to articulate it. And that's your job as a virtual assistant, not to look at yourself like a employee who doesn't know what they're doing, but to actually have a service that is built out so that you can go to this person and say, hey, I have this 5 hour package. And let me see if I can go back. Hey, I have this 5 hour package where I can come in, I'll clean your inbox up, I'll categorize it, I'll create some automated responses, and we'll kind of get your client flow operating a little bit better. And then so that way you can say, okay, they can give you access to the inbox, you can go in, clean up, categorize, and then come back to them in another meeting, in a report, whatever, and say, hey, this is what I was able to do in your inbox. From now on, all of the stuff that you opened up will be located here at the bottom. All the stuff that is very important, that is pertaining to an upcoming appointment, will be at the top. All of your clients are over here in tabs. If you can kind of go to them and say, hey, I created this solution for you, it's ready to go. Whether or not you continue with me, your your inbox is now ready for you to succeed and actually be able to talk to your clients. Then they're like, oh my gosh, well girl, actually I need somebody to actually just respond to these emails. So let me do a 10-hour package. Let me do a 20-hour package. I need you every week. You know what I'm saying? If you can create a initial service that provides a solution, because and I had to learn this the hard way, y'all, because I would just think like they hired me, so they have the strategy, they know what I need to be doing, they need to tell me. But that just puts more stress on the business owner. What really helps business owners is if you can give them a solution and say, hey, I did this one, this, that, and whether or not you continue with me, it's done, and this is going to help you operate more smoother. So think about that a lot when you're thinking about your package that you can develop, is really taking a solution to them and saying, hey, here is how I can immediately kind of eliminate your headache, or at least take something off your plate. Yes. And I love that. So, Jazz, we got to develop a service. So next time something like that happens, you can be like, well, yes, actually, I have an inbox detox service that I can do. And all I need you to do is just pay. Okay, pay one, and provide access to your email. And then I'll go ahead and take care of this service, and we'll schedule another call so I can walk you through all the things I did. That's going to make a business owner come back, tell their friends about you, make their life easier, want to keep working with you, really thinking about things in a solution based way. I'm currently doing it for a security company, and it's all because he's all over the place. So what are you doing? Are you doing email like management or admin? And honestly, when people need virtual assistants, y'all, the reality is they probably gonna be all over the place, especially if they've never hired someone like that before. Most business owners need the service. Whatever that service is, they need an admin person. They need someone to come in and be like, hey, this is what you need to do. And I spent so much time in the hey, tell me what I need to do, and not, hey, this is the service that I have, and this is what we need to make your life easier. Here's the price. Do you want to buy it? And we can just go ahead and move forward. This is exactly what you're going to get. I'm doing email marketing, management, and invoicing, setting up government contracts. Okay. And so for just from that, I don't have a whole lot of details, but just from that, um, because we want to help the client kind of get from all over the place to a little bit more contained chaos. So, like for the invoicing, is there like a system that you have in place? For the email marketing, like, do we have like a plan of attack? Like, do we know why we're emailing? Do we know when we're emailing? Do we know what the strategy behind the emailing is? And then as far as their inbox, something like that, inbox detox, are there like tabs and different things like that? Because our goal as virtual assistants is to bring the organization so that the client can then be like, okay, I can breathe a little bit. Because if everything is all over the place, and you as the VA are going to feel all over the place, the client's going to feel all over the place. And so if you're coming into someone's business as the virtual assistant, you want to kind of be the person who creates the order. I suggest things, he doesn't like it, but all he has is me because nobody will work with him. Yeah, he sound kind of difficult. Not gonna lie, he sound kind of difficult. He sound kind of and you know what I recommend, to a certain extent, because sometimes it's just like some clients just are not the best fit for you, and it took me a long time to be able to recognize like I think we're a fit, like but also um try to think about how to streamline the service that you're providing to that person. So, and even if that's, hey, this is what we need, this is why we need it, I want to implement it in this way, or maybe it's, I want to implement it and here's a couple of different options, here's a couple of different ways we can do that. He even calls me to get the address for events because he refuses to. Y'all, let me tell you something. I don't like to think for people. And that's just a personal, that's just like a personal pet peeve. I don't like to think for people. Even with being a virtual assistant and kind of being like uh in that service mindset, tell him he need to double your pay ASAP. I told him that I was just going to charge him more for last minute stuff. Yeah. And not only that, but, and we kind of really haven't gotten into that, and we probably won't get into it today, but boundaries. Boundaries, 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 boundaries. Boundaries. You may not call me last minute. You may not. And if any of y'all are in here already offering services, don't give nobody else your phone number. They can't text you, they can't call you. If they want to have a quick communication way to communicate with you, I recommend the Voxer app. And the reason why I recommend that is because it's off of social media. And that app, you can real quickly just send a little boop boop walkie talkie voicemail type of thing, and they can do the same. But for something like that, yep, that's how it's spelled, Voxer. And when I was offering virtual assistant services, when I was offering branding services, I always had people to get a Voxer account. I let them know, hey, it's a quick app, download it. This is how we can communicate. But, and the reason why I like to do that is, one, so like all of my like quick client communications can be in one area, but also because there's office hours. I'm available from this date, from Monday to Friday, 10 to 2. That's when you can expect me to respond. If you send a message after 2, then you can expect a response the next day. So things like that, really putting boundaries in place, are going to be so, so, so important, because you don't get to call me last minute and I'm not at work all day every day. If you really was at a office manager job, when 5 o'clock hit, when 5:01 hit, okay, we going home, and I'm not picking up my phone until the next day. TRH said Zello is a similar app, so y'all check those out. With Voxer, you can send voice messages, kind of like a walkie-talkie, and then you can also type. I don't know if you can do the same thing on the Zello app, but check both of those out, because that's something that you want to do. Like, because when you have a virtual assistant service, yes, there's times where you do need to have a quick boop boop back and forth with your client. Yes, there's times that it's probably easier for your client to be able to, boop boop, hey, can you this, that, this is what I'm thinking, whatever, whatever, and actually be able to use their words. And you don't want to be getting on the phone with anybody all the time. um Calls should only be scheduled. Only, only scheduled. You only take scheduled calls, and you don't do last minute calls. And nobody got no fires that need to be put out that bad, that quick, that often from you. I didn't put that in here because I feel like, my main goal is to get y'all to develop the service, but just wanted to put that to say that, because boundaries have to be on point when you're working in a service-based industry, period. I don't care what type of service you're doing, but you have to have your boundaries on point. So just to repeat a little bit, we not taking no emergency phone calls. We're taking only scheduled calls. You can send them a calendar link. Now they got it where you can like send calendar links for free using Google Calendar. So you don't have to have a fancy system set up. but you can send a calendar link and have them to schedule a call. And I recommend having that calendar link set up to where they can't get on the phone with you the next day. There's like a 2-day window in between the day that they book and then the time that y'all can actually get on the phone, because you need time to prepare. And you're unless look, now if you tell me he paying you 100K a year, I might say, okay, in the parameters, still let's do some boundaries. But yeah, maybe you can be available for a quick text and a little 5-second phone call every now and then. But I'm lying though, I'm still lying, y'all, because really, no. Do you have any advice on how a team could set this up? I've always been passive aggressive. I need help with boundaries. Yeah, we got to get the boundaries right. Um, Tell me what you mean by how a team can set this up. Yes, it'll be on YouTube, and I'm gonna send out like an email to everybody so you'll get the replay link, as well as I'll pop a message into the Discord. Um, Question: during the course, will we be discussing stand stores and e-commerce? Yes, so we'll probably more so be discussing those things in the apparel and accessories week and in the digital products week. My best friend and I want to do a duo VA service. How can we? Duo services work great. The main thing that I'll say, and if you want to kind of talk through this more like on the Q&A, we can. But the main thing I'll say is y'all both need to be have an area that you specialize in. So it works really well. Let's say like there's a admin person and a design person. Those two things work beautifully together because the admin person can be in charge of creating the copy and making sure that it gets scheduled, but the design person is in charge of actually designing the things and getting it over to the admin person so they have what they need. That's what I would say. As long as you are not trying to do the same thing, and you can do the same thing, it can work, but it works best if y'all both specialize in two different things and services that can kind of marry each other. I'm in the beauty industry, so I think connecting consumers with the right products could work well for me, like a lifestyle content creator. Affiliate marketing seems to keep following me. Yes. Yes. If you're already kind of like in that lane, keep coming back, because when we talk about monetizing your following under 1,000 followers, and I say under 1,000 followers because I really want to make it clear that your following can be monetized, and I don't care if you have 0 followers. If the right person comes to your thing on that day, you could be making money. So it's really just about how you set yourself up. I always say that the difference between a person who is making money online who has 600 followers and a person who has 600 followers and isn't is the setup. I'm new to BA and a stay-at-home mom. Any advice on the starting point? So for one, I want you to go when this training is over. Stay now, listen to the rest of it because we still got a couple of sections to get through. But go back, listen to the beginning of this training, get the workbook out, and actually go through while the training is happening and fill out the workbook. And that's going to literally get you to develop that initial service. Okay, hold on, because hold on, y'all. Let me. I'm gonna look at the rest of these comments. I see y'all, and then we gonna jump back into the training. Um, I see you say, I just love how absolutely freaking organized you are. How can I get there too? Stay tuned. Like keep watching. Keep watching. Gyms are always gonna be flying. And I feel like it didn't happen overnight. I've literally been doing this for 10 years, and it took a lot of trial and error, and really and some bad situations, y'all. Some not so good client experiences, some really unfavorable burnout times, and also really life too, learning life lessons and kind of like applying it to my business. That's what really helped me get to the organization point. And not only that, but just like the firm boundaries of like, no, you can't call me. No, you cannot text me. No, we cannot. No, I can't hop on no phone calls. I can't do any of that because I think when I started my business, I was looking at how can I make money. I wasn't looking at how can I start a business and develop a service and, something that I can keep building on. I wasn't looking at it like that, y'all. And I think that was my biggest downfall. Once I started looking at it like, I can't I can't be available 24/7 and provide this service, that service, this service, that service all over the place. I need a streamlined process so that I can operate. TRH said she's a Virgo. I that has something to do with it too. What if you don't know what service industry to start with? I would say, did you do the niche discovery? And also come back to the Q&A. We can figure that out. Um, I see you lurking. I'm not gonna read that comment, but I agree. I agree. Okay, we're gonna move on, y'all. Okay, so we are gonna start to set up the pricing and the packaging structure. If you have a hot following on TikTok from a small business profile that went viral a few years ago, do I need to create a new one? Lupita, are you going to be operating in a similar industry or industry that parallels? For sure, we always want to attract and not beg. And it's like when I get so much like the bills, like, and I feel like that's what kept me on the hamster wheel so long, is like I gotta pay these bills. So y'all, I can do whatever y'all need done. I had that attitude for so long, but and I would have like business coaches and people who had larger followings than me be like, Brianna, like you're so good at what you do, you need to charge more. And I'm just like, girl, I'm just charging whatever these people can pay because I need them to pay me something. But when you think about building out like an actual service and then having your pricing, let's say, because we're about to go through the pricing, let's say we end up deciding, okay, your little package is going to end up being $500. If I know now, okay, I'm selling this $500 package and I need $3,000 a month, that's that's six 500s. Okay. So that means that I need to no matter what, at the end of the day, I need to get in touch with, I need six people this month to pay this package, to pay for this package. I know exactly what's in this package. I know exactly how to talk about this package. I know exactly what pain points the people who purchase this package are going through. And every day, y'all see the people who be up here on live every day. Every day, y'all see the people who are on the Instagram stories every day. Y'all see the people who are, I don't know if y'all are on Facebook. If you're not and you want to grow a virtual assistant business, You should get up there. Maybe not your Facebook that has like all your friends and family, but maybe create another one because people are still up there. Business owners who are making 5 figures a month are up there. They're looking for people. They need people to help them with their business. Facebook groups are still very much alive. We'll get into that later. But every day, these people, you need to be up there. Hey, I know your emails look a mess. You need this inbox detox. You know what I'm saying? And this is how this is going to help you. This is what it looks like when I go through and organize. When you can get up there and you can just have this one package that you're talking about every single day. Every time you sit down and develop content, you're only thinking about and talking about one thing. That's going to help you get to those 500s. What if your niche doesn't involve being a VA? Let me know what your niche is. And then, yeah, TRH is right. So at the beginning, we talked about, let me see if I can go back to it. We talked about, where is it? Why are you starting virtual assistant? Okay. We talked about, if you're the virtual assistant services, not only the virtual assistant services, but it's not just for one thing. Not hold on, because I just said that all wrong. Not just the virtual assistant services, but all the skills I'm teaching. You can build a full-time sustainable business off of just that skill or combining a couple of the skills. But also, you can just learn the skill so that it's something that's profitable, that can fund something else. So if your issue right now is a money problem, what you want to learn how to do is create money so that you can fund whatever needs to be funded. So if you're creating money to fund your bills, okay. If you're creating money to have extra funds outside of your 9 to 5, okay. If you're creating money to fund your XYZ dream business that you've been trying to get up off the ground or that you've been thinking about, the best way to do that is to find a profitable skill that you can actually get paid from. So that's what I would say, just from not knowing your niche, I would say that it's either one of those two things. So if you feel like your industry is not a VA type niche, okay, then do we need to fund this dream goal plan that you're working on? And if so, how can we take some of the skills that you have and turn it into a service and start to market that service so that it can create that consistent income for you? Yeah. Crystal said maybe see where they overlap. Use a Venn diagram to decide. Okay, that makes sense. I want to rebrand. It may be somewhat similar, but not completely. I feel like if it's parallel at all, do not start over. Just rebrand the page. If it's completely like just different, like let's say you built a page and went viral for gaming and now you want to start a cleaning business, maybe not. Creating an inventory tracker in the gaming industry. That's a VA service. So are you saying like you want to create like a software, or you want to go in? Let me know. We might have to talk more about that on the Q&A. Okay, so we're going to jump into setting up pricing and packaging structure. So most new VAs undercharge because they price like employees and business owners. My goal here is to teach you how to price like a business owner. I want you to stop underpricing yourself. If you've already tried this and you were underpricing, we want to put it into that. If you're just starting out, we want to make sure that you go into the industry at a industry marketable price, because a lot of people are doing services like this. So we want you to jump in there and actually get paid what you're worth and what's actually going to move the needle forward for you, whether that's to build this service based business or to fund something else. So the biggest pricing mistake that VAs make, new VAs, old VAs, all VAs, is they look at what other VAs are charging and they try to copy those prices without considering their own financial goals. I've done this. I think everybody's done this. You go to XYZ's website, you're like, oh my gosh, they just have it all figured out. I like how they put everything together. I like all the things. So let me just take their pricing. Well, doing that kind of puts you in a bad position because you can't justify the pricing because you really have no idea what goes into it. You really have no idea what is uh you have no idea what's going into that, and you also don't know like what the breakdown is for your business in terms of the things that you see on the screen. So, and then they also think like employees, I charge XYZ per hour. Instead of thinking like business owners, I charge for results. I charge so I can pay my business bills and then also make a profit. And then they also do not factor in business expenses, self employment taxes, profit margins, all those good things. So, a simple formula, and if you have the worksheet open or if you are going to access it later, the whole worksheet is in there and it kind of gives you the full breakdown. But when you want to know what your monthly income goal is, what is that? What does that look like? And go as big as you want. I would say I'm not gonna tell you what to make your monthly income goal. Go as big as you want, go as small as you want, but make it realistic. Um, a good starting point if you're like, I don't know, add up all your bills. Add up all your bills and then add about $1,500 to it. And I feel like that would be a good starting place if you don't know where to start. Um, how many hours are you available to work per week? Think realistically. You have jobs, you have kids, you have, other businesses, you have your life, you need personal time, you need to take care of yourself. So think about how many hours you can actually give your business a week. Excuse me, y'all. And then you also want to think about overhead costs. So for digital businesses, this is things like Canva Pro, this is things like G Suite or Google Workspace now. It's whatever softwares and things you're using. If you don't have overhead costs or you don't know what they're going to be, I'm going to say you want to start that number at maybe like 200, because we want to be thinking about what's coming, the growth that's coming. You're likely going to spend 200 or more in business expenses and overhead. So that's a good number to put there if you just don't know. And then the packaging price is going to come out of that. And we're going to talk about how you're going to get that in a second. So most people just pick a random number, but I want you to be intentional on actually coming up with this price. Your business should support your lifestyle and not leave you working endless hours. Remember, we talked about that. Me just kind of like working so much on a package that was only supposed to take me 10 hours and ended up making like $7.25 an hour. And that doesn't work for me, and it shouldn't work for you. So, how much do you actually want to make? We just talked about that. If the goal is 4,000 a month and you can work 20 hours a week, you need to charge at least $50 an hour. But since you're selling a package, you charge 500 plus for that package. A quick formula to kind of get that is the monthly goal plus the overhead cost divided by the hours available is going to be your baseline price. And what you're going to get from that is kind of like an hourly rate that is considerate of all of your factors. From there, we're gonna add it. We're gonna make it a 5 hour package. We don't want people. We don't want you to work with us if you can't pay for at least 5 hours. If you can't do a 5 hour in full upfront package, then we're gonna pass, because that's the people that we want to focus our attention on. We want to focus on the people who got this $500 right here, right now, and they're ready for the service that you're going to lay out. So go to your worksheet. It doesn't have to be now, but fill that portion out. Truly think about all of your goals, your rent, all of those things, because once we get into the flow, this is going to be the goal that we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to this 4,000 a month. And so every month we know, okay, I need XYZ amount of people to purchase this price. And that's going to be your ideal client, like I see you said. Factoring your software, your marketing, your taxes, your time off. Um, Go ahead and do all that stuff up front when deciding on your price. So, packaging your offer to focus on value and not time. So, we are developing this package and we know that all we want to spend on it is 5 hours, but we know that this 5 hour package, the hourly rate, it includes so much for you. It includes a breakdown of your overhead. It includes you actually making a profit. It includes you actually being considerate of the amount of hours that you want to work per week. So we know that when we're on the ground and we're selling this package, as long as I'm dropping a coin in the hat every time I sell this package, I know that things are being taken care of because it's already factored in. So, would you rather work 60 hours per week to hit your goal, or 10 to 15 hours? And that's truly the difference, because if you're like, okay, I want to make $1,000 a week, um, and you know that's selling two packages a week, then and your total amount of work that you're going to have to do actually on those packages is 10 hours, instead of saying, oh yeah, you can come in, oh yeah, you can come in, oh yeah, I can do this, oh yeah, I can do that. You know, if I sell these two packages, I'm working 10 hours and that's it. And all of the things that I need to be taken care of under that is already factored in. So the secret to selling, instead of selling time, is a high value package that provides a tangible outcome, like we talked about earlier. The audits, the setups, the quick fixes, those things. So a business owner does not care about how many hours you spend managing their inbox. What they care about is that you free up time for them, and that when they actually go in their inbox, there's an organized space that has already been curated, organized, and set up for them. And they can easily go in and find what they need. A coach hiring you for content creation is not going to pay, or they're not necessarily paying for the hours of design work. And actually, something like design work, that can stress them out thinking about how many hours you actually sitting and spending designing something. What they're paying for is the streamlined, stress free social media presence. So if you can go in and say, hey, I'm going to do this audit, and then that audit is going to include a quick setup for all of your platforms. You'll get a cover. We'll make sure you have a branded social media profile, all of that good stuff. Then you can come back and say, hey, I did this audit. This is where these are some of your weak spots. These are some of your blind spots. These are some areas that you could be showing up better in. And here is a clean slate. Everything is organized for you. Your branding is already put up on your social media, and all you need to do now is follow this audit and post. 9 times out of 10, the business owner is going to say, well, girl, I love this. When can you start? And that's what we want. And then when you start, Instead, when you start and you have them purchase your big package, and for you, that's 10 hours work, that's 20 hours of work for you on your end. You have them purchase that package, and now you don't have to spend the first 5, 10, 15 whole package trying to organize their social media, trying to figure out where the weak spots are, trying to figure out what the strategy is going to be. You already took care of that in that 5 hour service that you developed, and you already performed on them. So, number 3 is going to be to set a price that actually makes sense for you. Now that you know your income goal and have a high value package, we're going to, we already did that, but just to reiterate, monthly income goal plus overhead costs divided by your available hours working is your baseline hourly rate. If we're saying that's $50 an hour, you add 5 to that, and that's going to be your package price. Now, if you choose to add, if you see that price and you're like, I want to add a little bit extra, go ahead and do that. And so, and there you have your price. But that's going to give you a baseline hourly that actually factors in all the things. And this hourly is internal company information. This hourly is not forward facing client information. What is forward facing client information is, hey, I have this service. It is an inbox detox. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to go in, I'm going to clean up, I'm going to categorize, I'm going to organize. And that service, that initial service is $500. That's the package. But internal information for you is my factored hourly rate is XYZ, that price that we just came up with. And then that helps you develop your package. So, I want to quickly talk about the no discount rule. Um, so that you can position yourself as a premium. We don't want to start the business offering a sale. You are not a discount freelancer. You are a business owner. And that's why we took the time to develop this baseline pricing, because you want to know that your pricing is informed. We want to charge based on the quality of the service and not what someone's willing to pay. We've kind of talked about that throughout. Like I told y'all, I was just like, yeah, I can do whatever. Like you just as long as you paying, I'm cool. I can do whatever y'all need me to do. But at the end of the day, I really can't. At the end of the day, that's gonna burn me out. So if someone says that's too expensive, because you'll get those, I want you to know that that's not your ideal person, and we want to immediately be like, okay, I'll tell y'all a big mistake I made. But when if someone says that's too expensive, what I want you to do is be like, okay, I understand. That means that we're not a good fit. Come back and let me know if you are ever ready to move forward, or if your budget ever expands and this is something that you can afford. And you want to walk away from that client. We do not want to work out anything. We do not want to. Now, if y'all decide that y'all want to take half the payment up front, half the payment at the end, that's on y'all. Coach is telling you in full up front. This 5 hour package, it's an introductory service, and you want to set the tone of in full up front. So if it's too expensive, we're gonna walk away. If that, okay, that's fine, that works. I had a, it was actually that client that I told y'all about earlier that was a influencer. I gave her an initial price. I knew the work was worth that price because she was already big. Her stuff was unorganized. I was an avid watcher of her content. And that's what made me end up reaching out to her, because she would say like, oh, I'm trying to get my stuff together, I got this, I got that, I don't know this, that, haven't checked my emails, blah blah blah. I gave her a price and she was like, ooh, that's too much for me. I can't afford that. And I'm like, what? Like, not Miss Influencer lady, but not judging, but like, you try to act like you making money like that, and it ain't really, giving that. Because you talking about my price is too expensive, and this is just a fraction of what you should be making a month. But anyway, so what I did was, which was a mistake, is I was like, okay, what's your, budget? For the person on the other end of that conversation, that's their gotcha moment. That's their moment where they're gonna be like, gotcha, yeah, let me swindle this. Let me make this look how I need it to look. And so she was like, oh, and I'll give y'all the numbers. The package price that I gave her was $1,500 a month. What she said she could afford was $600 a month. Big difference. Okay? Big, 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 big. So I was like, okay, not only did the $600 a month happen, but she was also like, and I needed broken the weekly payment. And at the time, I had some other weekly paying people. And so I was like, like it's cool because it'll just add to my weekly payment that I'm getting, at the end of every week. People are paying me on Friday. That works out for me, blah blah blah. So that's like, that $600 is what, like 125 a week, but I already had maybe like $400 coming in a week from other people. And so I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make it work. Like, I'm like, I can make it work. Yeah, we can do it. But let me tell y'all something that devalued me from the start. That devalued me from the start. And the reason why that relationship ended is because she wouldn't pay the weekly payment on time. And it's like, now we done went from 1,500 to 600. And if y'all mind work how my mind work, to 125. Now I'm doing all this work. I'm going through all your emails. I'm doing all the things. And you can't even pay me my little 125 on time. And it's because what I should have did from the get-go is say, look, I love your content, and I really think I can be of service to your business, but at this time it seems like we're not a good fit because the price is the price. So let me be y'all's learning lesson. I see everybody is flabbergasted. Right. And fortunately the relationship kind of ended just as soon as it started, because I don't play that. Now I done already broke. I done took $700 off the package. And we breaking it up into weekly payments. Like, you gonna have to pay them weekly payments on time. I mean, I need it on Friday at 11:59, 12 p.m., 12 a.m., just like a direct deposit. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, so it's not really worth it to work with people on their pricing. What's worth it is to keep being consistent, to keep selling the package that you're selling at the price that you're selling it as, and to work with the people who are actually willing to pay you your price at that time. Period. And that's why I'm saying, especially for the package that we're developing, this 5 hour introductory audit style, system setup style type package, we want to make sure that that's an in full upfront person, because at the very least, this is my lowest package. It does not get lower than this. You should be able to pay this in full upfront. Period. And the type of business that she had, the money that she was making, I don't know what she was doing with her money. That ain't none of my business. Maybe she was, maxing out her means, and really, like the bills was, maybe she was making $20,000 a month, but the bills is really $19,000 a month. I get that. But at the same time, that don't got nothing to do with me. Yes. And then as a business, like, you don't get to go in Walmart and be like, yeah, I'm gonna wear this outfit real quick. I'm gonna eat these bananas real quick, and then I'm gonna come back next week and I'm gonna pay y'all. Or can I pay y'all? Can I pay y'all $100 on this TV right now and take it home with me? And then I'll come back next week. No, you don't get to do that. You go in Walmart and you buying your stuff. You gotta pay for that stuff before you walk up out of there, and then you get to use your stuff. Yes, somebody said thank you. I don't want to learn that lesson, and I don't want you to learn that lesson. That's what I'm saying. If you build in this package, this is your base. And that's why I taught you how to develop an hourly rate that's actually informed, that actually includes everything, because this is your base. This is the very least that you can charge. If someone's like, oh, I only need an hour of work, da, da, da. Listen, from my experience, this package really has helped business owners see success whether or not they continue to work with me. So, for that reason, no, I can't work with you for just an hour. The price is the price. So, yes, learn that hard lesson from me, because, yeah, I had to end that relationship with that client. She was very upset. She was not happy. And I was kicking myself because I'm like, girl, first of all, when she jumped back in her chair when I said $1,500, that was the first sign. Because you're out here marketing yourself as this person who makes all this money, blah blah blah, but you can't even afford the help to actually elevate your business to the next level. We're not a good fit. And maybe there's some things that you need to get in place. But and I think she would have came back and paid the $1,500. But not if I'm willing to take 600. Somebody said I learned that when selling t-shirts, especially from a family member. Just real quick, we'll get on like apparel and all that, but just real quick, I got a family member who sells t-shirts too. And they're always kind of like, oh, I'll just do it, for the, just give me the money for the materials and I'll do it. No, get you a set price. Any service based anything that you're doing, get you a set price and tell people, hey, this is my set price, this is my baseline, and if they can't pay it, they can't pay it. There's some random Joe, Billy, Brenda, Betty out there who will take that price, no problem. However, I actually took some time with my coach. Okay, those of y'all that are in here, I took some time with my coach to develop these here prices that I have. And so, and we're not saying that to them, but this is your reasoning for you. So I'm not gonna move off that price. Yeah. No, no, no. I'm talking about my family member who sells t-shirts. Sometimes she tells family members and just people in general, like, hey, if you just pay me $25 to buy the materials, I'll make the shirt, because she has like the Cricut machine, she has like the press and all of that. And it's like, no, you need to get paid every time you plug that press up. You need to get paid so you can buy some stuff in bulk. Period. Breezy said this is the Sunday service I needed. Love that. I'm from Uganda. I'm glad I caught you. Learning how to be assertive. Yes. Yes. Yes, Armani. No, we can't do that. Okay, so I want to talk about finding and nurturing your first clients. I'm going to give you some suggestions that I have about this, because once that service is developed, once you go and you actually do that worksheet, or if some of y'all have been developing it, what I want you to do is now transfer this into actually finding your first client. So, the reality check is that clients will not magically appear as much as we want them to. They won't. You have to create multiple entry points to where they can discover your service. When you're doing a service like this, I don't recommend one platform. I recommend being present in multiple spaces. I have another live at 12. Will the YouTube be up later? Yes, it will be up. The replay will be up, and I will also be sending out an email. And we're wrapping up here soon. We just got to run in our mouths and talking a little bit earlier. I see you lurking said I may have over nurtured my first client, and that's exactly what I did to that with that lady. Over nurtured, like really just, and it gives desperate, and we don't want to give desperate, okay? Because at the end of the day, there's plenty of money to be made. There's plenty of clients out here to get. And when you have that understanding, you know, like, I can say no to this one, and that just means that we're getting them out the way so that my good person can come. My person who is ready to pay me that $500, who got up this morning and they was praying like, "Hey, Lord, I got the money, but can you send me the person who can do the work?" So, your first client is closer than you think. Most new VAs believe that they have to wait months before landing a client, but that is not true. The problem is that it's not that there isn't any clients. The problem is that you're not in front of them. And when you're starting out, when you're new, when you don't really have kind of like that network already built up, you want to be in multiple places so that you can start to build up your network, start to actually offer this service, actually have this service out there. So on the worksheet, I have up there kind of talking about setting up a Fiverr and Upwork account. These are two places that I was when I started in 2015. Those two places are still very alive and well. However, what I want to say is we're not going on the platforms to offer anything for $5. We're going on the platforms to set up a service that has our package, our initial package, so that it can be in their open market, so that it can be in their algorithm. If people are up there on their platform searching for it, they can see your service. We don't just want to make whatever money comes on those platforms, but what we want to do is have a presence so that if our ideal client is up there looking, we are up there also so that they can find us. And then also the same thing with Upwork. We want to go up there, set up our profile as a professional, and we want to keep our packages intact. Yes, I would set it up and outline the package in detail. What are you going to be doing? I would not put I'm going to spend XYZ hours. I would put, parameters like these are the things that I'm going to be doing during this package. This is the audit. This is the system I'm going to set up. This is the thing I'm going to clean up. This is the inbox I'm going to detox, those things. And then two, I want you to choose two social media platforms to market yourself. So you're going to have to do a little bit of research. That's going to be based on you and your ideal client and where they are and that type of stuff. That's what that's based on. So, but I want you to find two and I want you to commit to showing up on those platforms. And then once you find those two, I want you to go through and I want you to find five potential clients or industries. And we're going to swap out industries for businesses to reach out to. So your client attraction plan is going to be one, you're going to get on the platforms, the Fiverr, the Upwork. If there's more, I'll drop them in the VA study group so you guys can sign up for all of them. Because I recommend, if there's any type of platform that has like a situation where you can set up your package and just have it there in the space where it can be presented if people happen to search what you're offering, I would just go ahead and set it up. It takes maybe 30 minutes to an hour to set up the platform, maybe even less than that. And then once it's set up, it's set up. And I wouldn't try to do the most. I wouldn't do anything hourly up there. I would just have my one package listed up there. And then if people want to come and they want to ask questions, we want to direct most people into that package. If there's something that's a special case, then you can kind of think about that in a case by case basis. Um, you want to set up your profile, price yourself strategically. We've talked about that. And do not compete in the race to the bottom. All we're here to do is present our services and be available for whatever whoever our ideal client is who's on this platform searching, because we're just trying to expand our outreach. The second thing is Facebook groups and online communities. Facebook is still alive. If maybe not if you have a profile that is, geared towards family and friends. Some of y'all have found me on my business Facebook, but I have a Facebook page that I started in 2015 that's just for business. I've only added business owners and potential clients up there for the last 10 years. So I have a really good curated audience. And I'm in some good Facebook groups that are still active. I saw somebody ask about Facebook groups too. I'll probably do maybe like a Substack post or something on that, but I think it's still alive and well. I understand that there's a strike or whatever against Meta. I'm not concerned about the owners of these platforms. I'm concerned about how I can use these platforms as a tool to get what I need out of it. So that's why that's up there, because it's still alive and well. I see it every day. People are up there selling, people are up there purchasing, people are up there hitting their monthly goals. For your social media positioning, this is the strategy that I'm going to put you on: 5 videos a week and 3 flyers a week. Whether that is a video of you yourself talking, or whether that is a video of a faceless type situation set up, whatever. Video marketing is in right now. You want to make sure that you are in with that. That's what's going to pick up the fastest on almost all these platforms. It's what's going to pick up the fastest on YouTube. It's what's going to pick up the fastest on TikTok. It's what's going to pick up the fastest on Facebook, on Instagram, even Pinterest. Video is in. And then your 3 flyers, I would just have those flyers be different variations of that package. So just kind of like illustrating, hey, this is what's in the package, and that's something that you can keep kind of posting and getting people used to seeing. Do not be afraid to post something every single day, because even if, let's say, Bob follows you on your social media and he sees this same flyer every day, we're not worried about Bob. Who we're worried about is the fact that Brenda she only get on Facebook on Tuesdays. We want to catch Brenda on her Tuesday. We're worried about the person who only gets on Facebook once every blue moon. We want to make sure we're posting every day so that we can catch up with them whenever they decide to log in, or insert whatever platform: Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform. You want to make sure that you have that presence, because that's how you get in the algorithm, and the algorithm starts to catch up with you. I have a podcast, I believe, kind of talking more about how we don't worry about the algorithm. We let the out we all we do is we show up to the platforms, we put our content out, and we let the algorithm get to know us. It's just a system that is built to analyze the content and push it out, and categorize it and push it out. That's it. So we want to make sure that we show up and have content that can be categorized and pushed out.
So that means that we need to be showing up every day so that the algorithm knows, oh, I know what this account is about and what they're talking about. Let me push it out to these people because they're watching similar accounts that show up and put out this content. So they would be interested in it. That's the only way you should be thinking about social media and putting out your content every single day. Do not look at the numbers. The numbers do not matter right now. What matters is that you're building up that muscle of posting every single day. And then networking and outreach, message 5 people weekly. And this is just on the light end, and focus on relationship building. We'll get a little bit more into that and what that looks like. But what I want to say is, I cold outreach and networking still works. So I did an experiment one time when I was heavily selling branding packages where I just DM'd like, I want to say like 10 people a day, y'all. I DM'd them, and they weren't random. It was people who were maybe following accounts similar to mine. It was people who had maybe, followed me. It was, it made sense. But I just DM'd them. I let them know, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up making like $4,000 or $5,000 just from that, just from networking, just from putting myself out there, just from introducing myself, not necessarily making a hard offer, but making sure that I'm actually reaching out to people who understand what it is that I do and who may need what it is that I do. The biggest mistake that most VAs make, they sit and wait instead of actively creating opportunities. Me going and messaging 10 people a day, yeah, there was people who came back and were like, I didn't want this. Like, I don't like this. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody jumping in my inbox. Yes, there was people who came back and were like, I don't need. I really don't need your services. Yes, there were people who ignored. But y'all, I made $5,000 from the process. So that means that regardless of if I got 8 no's a day, there was 2 people who were gonna say yes. So you have to actively create yourself opportunities. So just a little bit, just a couple of notes on each of those things that I just went through to kind of give you some deeper insights. The freelance platforms, they still work, but I want you to use them wisely. Do not price yourself like a beginner. Do not go up there with your packaging like a beginner. Go up there with your high value service that we talked about, that you're developing, and move through it like that. Only have that one thing up there and let that attract the people. Be specific about what clients you want, be specific about who you serve, and charge based on the outcome, like we've been talking about. For the Facebook groups, you want to find industry specific groups where business owners are asking for help. You also want to engage in conversations, answer questions, build authority, and do this without selling anything. Just going, I used to get so many followers just from going to someone's Facebook group, seeing maybe a topic that was something that I was interested in or whatever, and being like, hey, like, or something that I was well versed in. Hey, this is my advice. This is what you can do. These are platforms that you can use. So many people came to me and were like, oh, thank you for the help, blah, blah, blah. Do you actually offer XYZ? That's what you want to do. And since you're going to have this one package, you're going to want to focus on positioning anything that you answer, anything that you, any conversations that you engage in, you want to position them around to be that perfect setup for, hey, well, I actually do have this inbox detox that I can offer you. And then you want to use the search bar in groups, go through and then find posts where people ask for help. The other big thing that people do in Facebook groups is they ask, like, hey, is there anybody who offers services for XYZ? You want to make sure that you go in and you're going to stand out versus the person who's like, oh yeah, I can do that for $25 an hour, whatever, whatever. When you come in and you're like, hey, I developed this inbox detox package and this is the results that you're going to get from that, and XYZ, you're going to stand out way more than the person who's just like, I can do it. The social media positioning, your goal is to make it easy for clients to see you. So make sure your bio is together. Make sure your profile picture makes sense. If it's a platform that has a cover, make sure that cover is talking about that main package that you got. And then we already talked about the consistent posting schedule, the 5 videos and the 3 flyers. And then you want to showcase how you solve problems on your social media. You want to showcase how you are actually solving these problems, and not just hire me. That's why I said, do those 5 videos. Those 5 videos should be more so of you either showing behind the scenes, of you either, position yourself as the expert. You really want to make sure that you pop in and with your videos and actually engage in a way that lets people know that you're an expert in XYZ field. And then you leave those flyers to actually be able to be like, okay, this is the service I offer, and this is what that looks like. So the networking and outreach, this is going to give you a very specific sort of outreach message. You can make this less salesy, more salesy, however you want to do it. But hey, whatever their name is, I came across your page and I love what you're doing with your business. You can even get more specific. I love how in that last post you were talking about XYZ. I love how in your story you were talking about XYZ. I specialize in helping XYZ industry with XYZ problem. And if you ever need support, I'd love to chat. No pressure, just introducing myself. You can kind of tweak that how you need to, but that's a good little starter so that you can just start messaging one person a day. Hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. And after so long, you're going to notice that your network is really starting to build up off of people who just enjoyed your initial introduction. Somebody said hashtags or no hashtags. I'm just learning about online presence. So back in the day, when I first started, hashtags were a big deal. Now, I think hashtags are still, they still work, but not in bulk. You want to be very choosy about the hashtags. I wouldn't put more than 2 to 5 hashtags under a post. And your main focus is SEO, so search engine optimization. And this is how you're going to talk to the algorithm. You want to make sure that like the text in your video is saying what you're actually talking about. You want to make sure that the caption, even if it's just one line, even if it's just a couple of sentences, you want to make sure that the caption summarizes well what you're talking about in the video. So I've seen a lot of people do captions where it's kind of like a continuation of what they talked about in the video. You don't want to do that. You really want to like kind of summarize in that caption what was said in the video, because that gives the algorithm an idea of what's actually being said. And that's more so how these platforms are working now to push out content. So yes, you can use hashtags. Yes, they still work, but I'm back though. It just goes down and then like I don't know, it comes back up. So yeah. But we're almost done. I'm gonna finish and then we're gonna get off. And I'm gonna pray that I can get this figured out by the time we have another session. Okay, so final steps, final takeaways, next steps. Y'all let me know if you can hear me in the comments below. In the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, that was my fault. My internet dropped. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Let's finish. Okay, so final takeaways and next steps. I want you to have a action moment. What's going to be your first move? Aside from doing the homework, what's going to be your first official move? Is it going to be setting up your Fiverr and Upwork? Is it going to be posting your first piece of VA related content? Is it going to be reaching out to your first potential client? Is it going to be finalizing your service package? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Setting up, okay, setting up Fiverr, setting up accounts. Walk with me. She said, I need your help. Okay. Setting up accounts, starting a Facebook, Fiverr, and Upwork. Okay, make sure you drop the link to that Facebook in our Grow Your Socials so we can follow you or friend you up there. Creating accounts, finalizing my service packaging. Okay, perfect. So we want to make sure that we have some accountability. So this is what I want you all to do to stay plugged in. One, if you need to catch the replay, it will be up on YouTube immediately. You can immediately go and watch the replay. I'm going to watch it, and if it's laggy or just not up to my standard, what I'm going to do is just record a just a training straight through so that I can send out a replay. But if it's fine, then I'll just leave it. But it'll be in the live tab of my YouTube, regardless of whether I choose to record one and just post a whole nother video or not. But catch that. Um, you can access it by going to my Substack because I'm going to send it out via email using Substack. So if you're not already on Substack, get up there because you'll get that replay to your email if you're subscribed up there. Submit your homework 003 in the homework submissions. I put a little note in there this week that the homework was meant to be done with the workshop, or at least after you obtain the information from the workshop, because there's a lot of additional insights that I was able to provide here actually doing the training. And then stay active in the VA study group. So as I do these skills, that's when I'm now going to be actively inside of the study groups with you all, dropping resources, answering questions. um I'm going to do some challenges in there, some different things like that. And that's how you stay connected with the people who actually want to do this like full time. They actually are very serious about making this happen as far as starting their virtual assistant business. So what y'all want to do is get in that VA study group. It's literally in the Discord. Find study groups. It's the first one. And people have already been chatting in all of the study groups. I love that so much. I love that y'all have partners. I really need to like, we'll do a Discord, probably not a meet and greet, but maybe like a co-working session, so that we can all just kind of like communicate and I can kind of tell y'all some things. But I'm so proud of y'all, happy that you all are connecting how you are and have already been in these study groups talking to each other and figuring out things. So stay in that VA study group, get active in there. I'm going to be dropping things in there to talk about this going forward. And then you're not just starting a VA business, you are building a profitable, scalable brand that fits your goals. And that's the main thing I want you to remember. And that's it. Start messy, make moves. That's my motto. If we can kind of just get together that initial package and start figuring out how to market it, you will thank yourself literally later. So that's it, y'all. That's the end of the training. I'm gonna hop off because I really don't know about this Wi-Fi. But here, and then we also went over anyway. I'm 20 minutes over. So tomorrow, for those of you who have questions, who want to work through things more specifically, what I want you to do is come to the Q&A tomorrow. The Q&A is going to be tomorrow from 6 to 8. um and we're gonna answer I'm gonna answer questions. We're gonna kind of talk through some things. And what I would like is for those of you who are in Discord to join me in Discord so that I can actually talk back and forth with you. I'll still be live on all the platforms, but I'll be in Discord actually, so I can get people to actually come up and ask their questions and do all that good stuff. If you're the person who's like, I already know I want and need one-on-one help, that's not really what we're doing in this space. It's really a group setting. It's really, I'm answering questions. When you come to the Q&A tomorrow, I'll be able to kind of go back and forth with you, but there's a limit to that because we want to make sure we get to everybody. What you want to do is send me a DM. I do have personal business coaching that's one-on-one, that's focused on you. I'm going to be sending some details out about that tomorrow, but go ahead and send me a DM. I'll let you know what that looks like as far as pricing, as far as timing, as far as all the things. But that's what you want to do if you're like, I need a one-on-one, I need a business coach. I'm serious about this. I want to move forward. But if you just have a couple of questions and you kind of want to work it out with in a group setting, come to the Q&A. You'll still get just as much out of that. You'll at least be able to get some answers so that you can get to, from point A to point C. We're gonna at least get you point A, point B, point C. We're gonna get you at least to point C in the group. So that's it, y'all. I will see y'all in Discord. I've seen a couple people say that. Head to the VA study group to continue this conversation with your peers. And if you need to go ahead and catch this replay, go ahead to my YouTube channel, go to the live chat, the live tab, and you'll be able to see this entire replay immediately, instantly. And then I'll be able to go ahead and I'm gonna see if it's good enough to just, keep as just this replay, or if I need to record a shorter training and repost it. No problem. You're 8 hours ahead of me. Oh wow. So you're like in the nighttime now. See you in Discord. Catch you in Discord. Walk with me. Send me a DM or come to the live tomorrow. Thank y'all for coming. Bye. Okay. Bye. See y'all later. Bye, YouTube.